Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news, and oh my goodness, do we have a lot of it. So let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne. Let's talk about it. First up, and I'm only going to touch on this quickly, as an actress said to a bishop, Hasbro Pulse had their live stream yesterday. I popped myself with that one. So I've done a whole video on that previous, so you can check that out for all the reveals. But basically the big ones are, it's Spider-tacular. So you've got all these 2-packs. You've got the MCU, Peter and Ned. You've got Null and Venom. You've got Spinneret and Spider-Man, who looks like the quintessential Spider-Man now. He looks so good. So yeah, that's what I'm definitely going to have to try and get my grubby little mitts on. Then also they had the amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man, who also looks kind of cool with the underarm webbing, which I'm so happy to see. Also, they showed, again, the Iron Spider with the Waldos coming out. I don't know why they call them that, but I find it very satisfying to say that. So he's got the big Waldos. He's going to be about $30. So basically price increases across the board. That's the big news. Price jacking up. And that's a shame, but it is what it is. And then also they showed the inverted negative Future Foundation Spider-Man suit. And also, of course, we got Toad finally in the 40th anniversary. 40th? What am I talking about? I'm 40. Marvel Legends aren't that old. But they are half my age, because it's the 20th anniversary Toad. And he looks... it is what it is. Still, like, this big with, like, a $30+ price point? Get out of here. That's the big news of the day for me, personally. These price increases are killing me. I just can't. I'm literally being priced out of this. I know other folks are being priced out too, and that kind of sucks, but it's going to be reflected in the sales and whatnot. Hasbro are going to be looking at their profit and loss and deciding what is the maximum we can charge and still, make the same amount of money. And if they can sell less but charge more and it works out the same, then they're going to do it. They're a business. So they're in the business of doing business. So we'll see what happens. Also, the other big story to come out of this Pulse is windowless boxes. I say no plastic or whatever. So windowless boxes, which is good for the environment. I'm fine. That's great. That's awesome. If you asked me to vote on a little piece of paper, I would tick yes, no more plastic. But boy, do they suck. It's something we just got to deal with, with the world is what it is. We need to stop using plastic, and I'm down to clown with not using plastic. But man, it's going to be so lame just walking into a toy store and just not seeing the figures. That's a real shame, and I think it's going to cut down on impulse purchases as well, because the amount of times where I would not be planning to get a figure and then I see it on the shelf and I'm like seeing it in person, I'm like, oh yeah, that does look good, so then I buy it. So they're probably going to lose some sales there, maybe, but also it must be cheaper to make the boxes without the plastic, yet prices are going up. So thanks, Hasbro, for not passing on that saving to us. That's great. That's real generous of you. Way to save the planets, but not our wallets. Yeah, I hear you. So the Hasbro Pulse was a mixed bag. A lot to get excited about, and a lot to be like, man. Oh, why can't I have more money in my bank? So yeah, what did you think of those reveals? There were some highs, lows, and creamy middles, but that's all I'm going to talk about for that, because we've got so much more news to go. McFarlane DC have shown 2 more figures from their Blackest Nightwave, and these are the ones that are quite eye-catching to me personally. I think, oh yeah, I like this. I guess it's because I'm not a big zombie person. First of all, we've got Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, and what's kind of cool about this is it looks like a very basic Green Lantern. So if you don't specifically want to have a Blackest Night kind of display, then you don't have to have a Blackest Night kind of display. You don't need to have scary displays. You can have a generic DC universe display, and that Kyle Rayner will fit in there perfectly. He's not zombified. He doesn't have any unusual things that would differentiate him that I'm aware of, because I'm not an expert, but I think he could just stand alone as a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. It doesn't come with a fridge, but that's fine. I'm sure you can find a little 1/12 prop of that, but I think he looks kind of cool. His lips look a little bit strong contrast. It looks a little bit like he's wearing lipstick, but that's fine. I can kind of look past that and forgive that. McFarlane's paint jobs, I'm never 100% down with them. I like the fact that they have lots of paint, Lord knows that that's something that sometimes Marvel Legends can be lacking, especially with some of the reveals that we saw yesterday. I forgot to mention the Lizard as well. That was a big disappointment for me because I sold the BAF expecting them to just kind of like re-release the BAF with better paint and a different head, and instead they shrunk it right down and it looks like there's not much paint going on there either. And I was like, boy, that's a disappointment. But we're not talking about Legends anymore. We're talking about McFarlane DC, and the Green Lantern, he looks kind of cool. Oh wait, that's not the only Blackest Night reveal. We also have Deathstorm. And Deathstorm actually looks super wicked. Skulls, flaming skulls. What are you gonna do? They just look awesome, and Deathstorm looks awesome with the flaming skull and the grinning teeth. He looks like a badass. No idea who this character is, never read DC before, but if I was just randomly wanting to pick someone up for my monsters kind of shelf, he would fit right in there. And even the 7-inch scale wouldn't matter because he's a big terrifying demon looking guy. But the amount of like sculpting going on here, that looks like real full-on McFarlane. He must have seen the design of this guy and been like, oh boy, this looks great with the skulls, and I'm gonna get to do all the sculpting with the cape, and it's like this character Spawn. Have you ever heard of him? I'm gonna make a movie with him one day. Anywho, that's just being mean to Tom McFarlane. Why did I do that? I'm sure he's a lovely person. That notwithstanding, this figure looks super cool. If I was gonna pick up one from the wave, it would probably be the words are hard. You know what I was saying. As Smash Mouth sang, the Blackest Night keeps coming and they don't stop coming. Bend to the rules and they hit the ground running. Superman didn't make sense not to live for fun. His brain got smart while his head got dumb. I really should have stopped singing that a long time ago. Blackest Night, Zombie Superman. He's also been revealed. So that's pretty much the entire lineup revealed now, I think. Now we just got to see the Build-A-Figure and the Atrocitus. Is that how you pronounce his name? I think he's going to look pretty awesome. I've got an inkling. So far, we're like batting 100 for badass looking figures in this line. Superman looks great, gnarly, zombified kind of. I love the sort of skeleton face with the skin kind of stretched over it. So grim and gross. I'm interested to know what the backstory is. Like, is this our Kal-El that's been killed and then resurrected and then eventually comes back to being like happy alive Kal-El, or is this like a different version of Superman? I want to know how they killed Superman. All right, if it was just Doomsday having a punch off with him, then that's not very exciting. But I'm interested. Like, how do you kill the Man of Steel? I'm intrigued. But what they've done with the costume, the Blackest Night sort of Black Lantern design, it's kind of generic, but kind of cool as well. The glowing red eyes, like they look very like piercing, very scary. So on the whole, if you're getting the complete Blackest Night set, then this guy next to the Batman as well, yeah, they're gonna look really good together. I think all you sort of heavy metal goth type kids out there, yeah, you know who you are. You're gonna like these on your shelf. But wait, there's still more from McFarlane. You just can't stop these guys. Warhammer Chaos Space Marine. Now, this does look really, really freaking cool. This was the main thing I wanted to see from the Warhammer line, was what they were going to do with the Chaos Space Marines. If anyone's not too familiar, I'm not really the guy to educate you on Warhammer, trust me, but basically they're like human Space Marines that have become horribly, disgustingly corrupted by like dark energy powers. Kind of like the dark side of the Force, basically. They're like the ultimate grimmest versions of the characters, of the Sith characters you see, who are all like tubes up the nose and metal and cybernetics and just gross, mean, nasty stuff. Exactly what McFarlane are great at. And what we can see so far from the unpainted prototype style versions and the painted ones, it's like they're going in on it, but they haven't gone full in yet. I want to see real kind of cosmic horror Giga type designs, which they do have in the tabletop games. This is more like a regular Space Marine with some cool heavy metal looking tweaks to the armor, which does look badass, but I want to see them go ham on it. I want to see what the next Chaos Marines might look like. But still, the fact that this guy, you want to hear the price? $19.99. The price is in the teens. That's crazy. When Hasbro is selling you like a little toad for $30, you see how much plastic is in this gigantic, chunky 7-inch scale, big-ass Space Marine? Something don't add up there. Okay, yeah, I'm sure the Marvel license costs a hell of a lot more than the Warhammer license. I will grant that. I always appreciate that. But still, you look at the bang for your buck and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get that there Chaos Space Marine. He looks the bomb right there. So this is what I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to going forward. I think there could be some really cool things coming out of this line. Speaking of cool things, Storm Collectibles have shown more images and given details for their Tekken Paul figure. And he's gonna fit right in. If you take a look at the pictures that I'm showing you right now, why wouldn't you be? Because Lord knows you're not just listening to this, because my voice would probably get a bit grating after a while. He looks awesome. He's perfect rendition of Paul from Tekken. Tekken is just the right kind of franchise for Storm Collectibles to do, because they've proven with Mortal Kombat that sometimes their faces can suck. At least when they're trying to do human faces. It's not even like an uncanny valley thing like NECA sometimes have. With Storm, it seems to be like they got the rejected waxworks from Madame Two Swords that were out in the sun for too long. Whereas when you're doing things like Tekken or Streets of Rage, please go back to Streets of Rage. But you've got more of a cartoony design, or Street Fighter, more to the point. With the cartoony design, they can recreate that perfectly and just put it in action figure form, and it's like, yeah, boom, that is a 3D version of the figure or the character I used to play with on my PlayStation back in 1997 or whenever it was. This looks terrific. Love the look of Paul. So he's going to be retailing. All right, just gird your loins, okay? Because it's Storm Collectibles. $90. All right, so this is a higher price point. Obviously, you know to expect that. So I'm sure people could say, like, wait, so Dave, you were giving out about Toad costing 30 and now this costs 3 times that. I'm like, yeah. But do look at what you're getting for your money as well. So if you do love your Tekkens and you like your high-end figures, this guy's going to be available in the 3rd quarter of this year. So yeah, look out for him. Now, this is kind of old news, okay? So I'm trying to, like, catch myself up here because I'm still just getting into the G.I. Joe line and still freaking loving it. I didn't realize they had announced a whole bunch of other characters coming out soon, so I'm quickly going to go over those because there's some that I think I kind of want, but maybe not. Let's talk about them. So first of all, they've got the Tiger Force Recondo guy who looks like Jesse Ventura from Predator. And this one, like, I might be kind of tempted for, but I don't know. A lot of it depends on the accessories and how he looks in hand, which if you get a plastic-less boxes going forward, you won't necessarily know. I do love Blaine from Predator's kind of design. That looks wicked. But again, he still looks like a generic army dude. So I don't know about that, but he's got my interest. Then we got Bazooka, who looks like he is straight out of the 1980s toy line with the ridiculous kind of like helmet, football shirt kind of combination going on. This is more fun, more charactery, but again, maybe a bit too retro for my eyes. Like I like more of a realistic kind of approach. I mean, I must be the hardest person to satisfy in the world because I'm like, that guy looks too much like a generic soldier. Oh, but that guy looks too cartoony. Then what do you want, Dave? I don't know. Don't know what I want. But it's not exactly that, and it's not exactly that. But he looks fun. So I think for classic retro G.I. Joe collectors, that guy should hit the sweet spot. Then we got ourselves the American Dream, baby. We got Dusty. Not Dusty Rhodes, but just Dusty, I think is his name. And this looks full on like classic G.I. Joe, like just a military soldier kind of guy. And the thing is, like, it could actually be really nice. I think just judging by the look of this render, sort of the sculpting going in there could be a lot of details and nuances going on with this character. Definitely qualifies as a more realistic, grounded kind of figure, but also about as generic an army man as you like. So again, that's one that I'm gonna have to gauge because also money don't grow on trees. So we can't just buy everything as much as we would love to. That is the dream right there. So one day I'll be able to look at these and go, okay, that one, not that one, and we'll tell. But in the meantime, he does look kind of cool. Then we got Kamikura, who I'm told is like the protege of Snake Eyes. Is he like a brash young buck who eventually rebels against his master who's holding him back? I'm getting very Anakin Skywalker kind of vibes from this image. I have no idea if that's right. Maybe he's a lovely boy. But this does look more my kind of wheelhouse. I like this kind of modern military ninja. That's just cool. That's why Snake Eyes is cool. So a younger, trainee kind of version of Snake Eyes? Yeah, I would be down to clown with that. So that is one that I am looking forward to. And finally, we've got Sergeant Stalker. Not Sergeant Slaughter, you maggots, but Sergeant Stalker. And this is the only one that we've seen a proper pre-order image of the figure for. So hopefully the other one's going to be following suit kind of soon. And again, does he fall a little bit too much into the generic soldier category? Maybe he does. So that's another one that I think what's going to happen. I'll tell you actually, I can predict the future, all right? I'm not going to order him. Then I'm going to see people doing reviews of him online, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I really want him now. Because lo and behold, the figure that everyone says is probably going to be really good was really good. What a revelation, Dave. So even though I know that's going to be the case, I'm just going to sit here and watch it play out. Loose Collector, the man slash company slash conglomerate, I don't know, but the folks in charge of the Monster Mr. Hyde Kickstarter, which looks amazing and fulfilled its goals, they've also announced that they're on track to do an accessory pack as well. I don't know if this is going to come with the figure or separate. I think it comes with it. Maybe it's like a tier that they've met. I don't know. Boy, Dave, you should have done your research. This is why people watch the Whoosh. But it looks like you've got an unmasked head, like not an unmasked head, but you know what I'm saying, like a head that can have like a top hat on there, which is nothing like an unmasked head. And then also maybe like a shawl and a few other accessories. So that's cool. You can kind of pimp out your Monster Hyde. So that's going to be a nice little touch to go with that. And also, just to pique people's interest, because when you're rolling, you got to keep on rolling. He said the next project is going to be a big, giant, badass wolf man, and that sounds exciting. Mr. Hyde, I was like, I can take or leave that. But a gigantic, massively articulated, huge Roy D. Magoo wolf man? Yeah, okay, you had my curiosity, but now you got my attention. So I'm going to be very interested to see what they release, coming out, announce in the future, because this Loose Collector guy, he's kind of good at what he does. And finally, guys, I've got a fun little feature for you. I think you might enjoy this. Vera Vanguard, someone who I've got to know online, is a creator over in Los Angeles, and she is a hand model. Yep, she is a hand model for action figure commercials. Whenever you see someone moving the action figures around on like a playset, yeah, chances are those are probably her hands that you're watching. And what she's actually doing at the moment is creating a puppet movie, which sounds like so much fun. She's already made one. So there's a link to that in the description below. But now she is also actually putting the finishing touches on a new handheld puppet movie, feature length, in which we have zombies and aliens and emo kids, and I don't want to give away too much about it because I want her to tell you. So guys, continue to sit back and relax with your beers cracked and enjoy my interview with Vera Vanguard as she tells me all about this badass project. I can't wait to see it. And guys, check out her social media links as well, because this is a project I'm going to really enjoy keeping up to date with. Vera, thank you so much for joining us here on the show today.
Thank you for having me. This is very exciting.
It is. Well, I'm always excited when I'm presented with unusual, quirky, creative, artistic endeavors, and surrounded by these characters behind you, it looks like already this is something that I want to learn more about. So, Vera, please tell me who the heck are you? What are you doing on my show? What is this?
When I saw you on the Instagram, I was like, this is exactly what I need, because I'm a huge, like, my production company is called Live Action Figure Films. So
it's a match made in heaven. Look at that.
Made to be.
Well, that was because I saw your Instagram page with some of your insane cosplays that look so awesome. That's what caught my eye, and I thought we need to collaborate on something. And then you're doing this. So yes. Yeah, what is going on here?
So I am one of the top child-sized hand models in the world. You've seen my hands, these little teeny weeny lady boy hands that in every commercial known to mankind, everything from Barbie, like on the close-up of Barbie's head turning and her doing this, like chances are that's my hand turning Barbie's hand. Or in Hot Wheels, like you see the close-up of the launcher hand, chances are it's my little fist launching that toy.
This is a whole sub-industry that I knew nothing about. So the commercials, it's all a lie. It's you playing with these toys.
It's me. Chances are it's me, a full-grown adult with these little tiny childlike hands that I've been made fun of my whole entire life. Like, you have these little sausage hands, and now I'm like, can I curse and do this on your show?
You can on this show.
Do you know how well-known this finger is?
This actually might be the most famous guest I've had on this show. So that's the levels and perspectives.
It's not me. It's these hands. They nobody wants this. There's plenty of this in LA, but not a lot of this.
But these are gold.
These are gold. So I've been doing toy puppetry. It's really they call it hand modeling, but it's really toy puppetry because we're moving the toys to make them look alive. You know, like LOL Surprise and like I've done Batman versus Superman and like everything. those are my hands, like flying Superman through the air or crashing Batman through like the brick wall, Transformers, like you name it, I've done it. So basically, maybe all those figures.
Where do you do these? Where does this take place? If I was in LA, how could I see you doing this?
Well, it's at regular studios, filmed like anything else. There's a miniature setup of like if they're creating a world, and I'll walk the doll through the world or like crash it. If it's Jurassic Park dinosaurs, it's like a little jungle setting, like, and I'll walk him through by his tail, and he'll be like, "Arr!"
I'm with you. I tell you what, I was a bit confused because this is toy commercials.
Yeah, there's toy commercials.
Yeah, because actually in England we don't have toy commercials like that. So actually, yes, I remember those kinds of commercials from the 80s when I was growing up. We still had those on UK TV. So of course, yes, they still make them, and that's you playing with them. That's awesome.
I'll tell you why. Because in the US, legally, they want to see that the toy doesn't move on its own. And in England, nobody cares because kids aren't, like, oh, it moves on its own.
We're not going to sue when the toy doesn't move by itself. That's
story.
Really interesting. Yeah. So you found this niche. This is amazing.
I did, and there's only like 8 working hand models in this niche, and we're very competitive, and I've been doing it for about a decade, so I'm very interested in filmmaking. That's kind of why I came to LA. I'm from New York City. I grew up there, and now I'm just like trying to move into directing because I really enjoy it, and I really love writing and creating, producing. So in my time in LA, instead of like just hanging out and partying, I've been learning the craft of writing and producing and directing. And then this happened during quarantine. I'm like, how do I make a movie involving nobody?
You see, drastic times call for creativity and invention. That was how this channel got started as well. I was a performer with no stage.
Exactly.
Like, what can I do?
Except the world now is your stage.
Exactly. Now I've got a bigger audience than I could have ever anticipated. And
hello, everybody.
Yeah, you're going to be popular here because this is the kind of outside the box kind of thinking that I just gravitate towards. I have a radar for this kind of quirky stuff, and I dig it. So, I mean, please tell me, like, what is this that you're currently working on? What are you creating? Because I'm all on board for this.
Okay, I know you're probably looking at what is this weird thing. That's a prop from the movie. It's a hang glider.
Well, now that you point it out, now I can see it. I can see what that would be.
It's just stuck back there because my house is asunder from all the props and everything. We have one more day of filming. We're almost done. I'm already editing it. We're making a feature film called Apocalypse Love, and it's all done with puppets. And they're all like rock and roll, emo, little goth kids.
Oh, I love it.
This is my star. His name is Tom. Say hi, Tom.
Welcome to Model Behaviour. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Exactly. I don't voice them. I just puppeteer.
You just manipulate them.
I just manipulate them, and I wrote this project, and it's zombies. I don't have the zombie puppet down, but we have zombies, aliens, and it's during an apocalypse. So the story is this kid is all emo, and he's goth, and he's alone, and oh my God, woe is me. And his girlfriend kind of died by getting run over by a giant truck during prom night. So now he's extra alone, and he has no one to die with during the zombie alien apocalypse. And the story is the aliens come down and reanimate all our dead into zombies, so they don't have to kill us, our own dead does. So now he's running around trying to avoid all the zombies from killing him, and he's like, well, what do I do so I don't die alone? So he goes and digs up his ex-girlfriend, puts her in a body bag, just so he can have somebody to hold while he dies. It's very emo, very goth.
It's incredibly emo, but it's kind of beautiful. I mean,
it is.
I guess, and one of the things they say in writing class is write what you know. And so you got to have some good life experiences to pull on, because that is out there, but I dig it the most. So was this 100% your own creation?
Yeah.
This is your story.
Yeah, I wrote this a really long time ago in like 2008 as a whole different script, and I updated it and rewrote the whole thing. Now it's completely 100% mine. I didn't bounce it off anyone. I was just like, this is gonna be mine. And,
I'm exactly the same when I'm creating something, because I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I do.
Exactly.
So therefore I know that I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Write what you know, and for independent filmmaking, write what you can get your hands on. So I knew I could get puppets made. I knew that I could write this, and I knew that I could direct this, because what I do for a living is puppeteering. So me and another couple of amazing filmmakers and puppeteers that I work with, I recruit people, because that's the only way to do it. It's like, hey man, I'm doing this shoot this weekend. You want to come? It's like a drug deal, but with like creativity.
Exactly. Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Just be here at this time, and we'll make something happen. Trust me. I love it.
Exactly.
Once you're in this BS industry that we're a part of, you know how it works. So,
exactly.
So tell me about the cast or the people involved. How many actors do you have? So you've got voice actors and then the puppeteers as well.
Yeah. It's an indie. It's a feature film. I'm trying to hit the 70-minute mark. Like Nightmare Before Christmas was 76 minutes. So I think 70 minutes of attention span with puppets is good enough for me. It's all action. It's all them running around from zombies. So we have 3 puppeteers together. Me, another girl, Lisa McNeely. And we're going to have one final puppeteer. I don't know who that's going to be on the grand finale, when we're moving all 9 puppets all at the same time for the finale of the movie. That's the only scene we haven't filmed yet, but everything else is in the can.
Oh, wow. So you've got your work cut out for you for this last one.
Yes, because moving 2 dolls is enough, but like once you get to 3, 4, 5, it's horrible. Like when we learned our craft trial by fire at Mattel. Like we actually work at Mattel for many years, and like 3 puppeteers would be like stuck under, like the way you puppeteer dolls. It's like nothing you can't imagine what we do. We are inside the stage, underneath the stage, with our arms like this, puppeteering up here, watching a monitor this way. So we're not even looking at what we're doing. We're watching it through a monitor as we're puppeteering. So, which answers the question of like, why do you need child-sized adult hands? Because kids just can't do this. They don't have the hand coordination. Also, a lot of the times we're working with prototypes. So you don't hand like a $20,000 one-off prototype to a child. You give it to me and I'm like holding it like,
yeah, I wouldn't trust myself to hold that.
Exactly. So that answers the question. Why do you even need these adult child-sized weirdos?
And that it goes to show there is a niche for everybody. I dig
for
that.
Everything.
So the puppeteers are fellow commercial hand
models,
actors.
Hand models.
And how about the voice cast? Tell me about the voice cast.
Oddly, I'm casting now. Like we shot and then we will voice it, because I'm also an editor, so I'm editing it. So I can match the movement to the voice later, but I needed to get this shot. Like you can't wait. You need to just get it out there. Their mouths don't move, so it doesn't matter. I could just be like,
you get that, as long as the shot holds for as long as you need it to, and you can
exactly.
I
can jiggle them however I need.
I'm imagining right now the logistical nightmare of doing that. Good luck. Good luck with doing that.
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll take a lot of coffee and a lot of patience, but
there's tea brewing right now with all the caffeine that I could find.
And this is. And as we were saying, this is a one-person project essentially. So, have you had to teach yourself these skills, such as the editing and the mixing, all that kind of thing? You've been learning on the job.
Yes, I've spent the last 15 years that I've been in LA learning how to write, edit, produce, and I have this little niche. This is my third feature film. My last feature film was called Breaking Barbie. You can find it on YouTube. It's a spoof on selfie and influencer culture, where I play this girl named Barbie with an I, not I-E. And she just gets lost in the woods after a bad internet date, kind of goes very south, and she has no signal. So my hate towards influencer culture, and even though I'm like deeply in it, art imitating life and all that.
Don't worry, we are the snake that eats itself. That's fine.
Yeah. So while she's the whole point is while she's staring at her phone, going, "Where's my signal?" She misses an alien invasion happening in the background, which is that's my social commentary of like, can you get out of your phone? Like, would you even know aliens are flying in the sky? Like,
I like it. It's kind of like an episode of Black Mirror by way of Sesame Street.
Exactly, and
that works. If that was like the coffee table pitch, I would be all in. So
go find it on Breaking Barbie.
Well, believe me, when we finish this, I'm gonna need you to send me these links because I want to see this. So was that the first? You say was that the first feature you did, or was that
was my second feature? My first feature is also found on YouTube, and it's literally, I thought as a filmmaker that I have to have my drug-induced children in a one location setting horror movie art house project to get it out of the way, and that's the first movie. It's called Safe House, and you don't want to watch it. It's so awful. Or maybe you do. I don't know. When I tell people it's so awful, it's like the worst thing you could possibly imagine. There's a market for that too.
There is, but then it has to be so bad that it is entertaining. That's the thing. You've got to go all in, and then
it's not entertaining. It's just
all
bad.
right. Okay. Well, maybe I'll spare myself that one, but I'm very much looking forward to Barbie. And so this is definitely this current movie that we're working on. This has got to be the most ambitious project.
It's so crazily out there. By the way, the puppeteering, you will see the hands puppeteering these dolls in the movie. I don't hide the fact that there are hands in the shot, but it becomes part, like you don't even see the hands after a while. It just becomes part of the joke that there's a hand. There's a hand moving it. Like you just see this guy just moving around and going, "Oh, woe is me! I can't. My girlfriend, she's dead, and now I have to like run around from zombies. Oh, boo hoo." But do you notice that there's a hand there?
That's so charming. I love it because also, I mean, this is not unusual in as much as you can go and see Avenue Q with the people on stage, and you instantly look past them.
Yeah, you forget that they're even there.
Yeah, I think that's wonderfully charming. So, do you have at least a penciled in date that you would like to have this available? Because already I'm kind of itching for it. I gotta say, I'm intrigued.
I will send you a trailer. I do have a trailer. I'm trying to get this done by the end of the year, and I already have on the horizon, I think we will be getting distribution with Dark Side releasing and Cinema Fantastique. So this is their genre. Like anything weird is with them. So distribution, it's not just going to be on YouTube. It's going to be like out there in the universe. So I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll finish. This will all be shot in the next, by the end of this month, but the editing process, and then hopefully the voice actors that I want, who I really, really want.
Please. I'm intrigued.
Like that.
Who is your wish list? What do we have here?
Oh, my wish list would be if I had infinite money, which I don't, I would love Daniel Radcliffe to be this guy.
Well, if you'd like a charming British voice actor, I do charge very reasonable rates, so we can do it. That's fine. Yes, we can discuss that. Yes, but Daniel Radcliffe
later. The backyard drug deal.
We'll do that. We'll do that off air. Yeah, kayfabe it. That's fine.
Yeah. Her, I would love to be Jennifer Tilly kind of voice, because of course.
Gosh, yeah, I can totally see the Bride of Chucky, Jennifer Tilly kind of look there. Absolutely, yeah, that would be charming.
I I do have an actress in mind that could similarly,
give a little
do
vibe.
that. This one, I would love to be Phil Morris, who I do know, and I might be able to get, but I don't know. He's the father of Cyclops on Doom Patrol, and he was also
right. Yes.
Remember
I'm
on
familiar.
Smallville, he was also the Martian Manhunter, and this one could literally be, anybody.
So you won't be doing any of the voice acting yourself. Your skill set is the puppeteering.
I'm hoping that I won't. I'll do like the zombie voices of or something. I don't know, like background screams like an explosion.
Absolutely. I want to see the credits roll and just see Vera in about 10,000 different places.
I should just write one card of like written, directed, produced, puppeteer. Just one card.
Just
Vera
me, baby, me.
Just me.
Perfect. So when you were talking about the different distribution companies, what sort of format is that? Online through their own distribution services, streaming, video on demand, that kind of thing.
All of that. You could find Breaking Barbie in Walmart. I mean, on their website. You could buy it as a physical DVD, but like I just say go on YouTube and watch it for free. I don't care. It just gives me a view. I don't get any streaming distribution, doesn't really pay much, but with this project, I actually have a different income stream in mind. I would really like to make these into widely available plushies and vinyl action figures. So it's merchandising.
Where the real money from the movie is made.
Exactly. The movie, I'm not inventing this. Mattel invented this and Hasbro invented this with T-Man and Transformers. You make something on TV to sell the toys.
Exactly. And hey, I bought in. So clearly it works. They're onto a good thing. Speaking, just before we wrap up, because I don't want to take too much of your time, but where did these wonderful puppets come from? Did you create these yourself, or did you have some?
They're my design, but I had this amazing puppet maker or doll maker that I found in Slovenia off of Etsy, and this person just created this incredible line of toys. They're custom built for me. They're not like what they usually make, but I saw this Etsy creator called Mr. Doll's Plush Barely. So, and I'm like, this person will understand my madness. And how cute is this? Like, I told him I need this one to have tattoos. So there's little. Oh, did you see the little?
Oh, I see where we're going with this. Yeah.
This one carjacks our lead character every single time he gets in a car.
I love a good running joke. I love a good running gag.
This is how I write. I always write all running jokes in threes. It's always
rule of three, baby.
And that one is, by the way, the big hero of the story. Even though I don't want to give anything away, but these are the heroes.
No spoilers.
Because what in the world would a little emo kid in a zombie apocalypse know how to do? He's not going to be able to pick up a gun and go. No. He's going to rely on his friends, and she is his badass. They have a history. This is not his. This is his ex-girlfriend.
This isn't the zombie girl here. No, this is someone else.
Oh no! You never see the zombie girl. She's in a body bag the whole time, with her hair sticking out of the top of the bag.
Cheaper than making another puppet.
We're not giving away the whole farm here, but she's a badass AK-47 toting rock star. They used to have a thing, but then the cheerleader stole him, Yoko Ono'd him from her, and that's who he's carrying in the bag, and she's the jilted ex.
Now, what's her name? What's the name of her character?
This is Izzy. This is Tom. This is Heathcliff. After Wuthering Heights, not the comic strip. He actually says that.
Oh, okay.
And this is just our friendly neighborhood thug, who's also strangely the hero of the story.
I love it, Vera. This is wonderful. What we're gonna do from here on in, I'd like to keep in contact because I want to know how this develops. I want to let the people watching this keep in touch because this sounds like such a fun project. I
do have an exclusive for you that like just happened 2 days ago. Since this is a puppet project, you know, everything will rest on sound. Like sound is going to be paramount to this whole project, and I have an amazing sound person that's going to work with me. But 2 days ago, John Fryer himself, who is the producer of Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, Love and Rockets. It's like he's worked for the last 40 years on all these bands. He said, pick whatever you want from my catalog. You can have all the music. And I'm like,
that's incredible.
Because we need that rockin', like, you know, Nine Inch Nails beat kind of music while he's running away from zombies. Like,
exactly. And I don't mind saying, I think Depeche Mode are a sweet band. So that's fantastic. So well, that's going to add a whole level of the professional Hollywood feel, a legit soundtrack.
Yeah, we're shooting in 4K, baby. It's going to look really good.
That's it.
And it's practical. The whole thing is practical. I wanted a green screen. Now, we figured out how to do the whole thing practical, except for like a couple of spaceships in the sky and the guns firing. That's the only CGI that's going to be in this whole thing.
This is wonderful. I'm so on board to see more of this. We've only been talking for like 20 minutes, and I think I might be your biggest fan from this right now because this is a wonderful pitch. I'm so excited. Vera, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. This is wonderful. We're going to keep track of this. I'm going to put all of your socials at the bottom as well, so folks can follow the project. And quite frankly, I look forward to talking to you again very soon.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
And folks, that does it for Good News for today. What did you think of the stories? Comment below, let me know, because we covered a whole heck of a lot. So guys, thank you very much for joining. And as always, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond on supporting the channel, then you can do by going over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. Throw a couple of bucks my way, buy me a pint, and it gives me a chance to sit here and make more videos. So until next time, guys, keep displaying model behavior.